Days by Jules Verne. London, 1872. In a perfectly ordered house, a precise gentleman hires a new valet. Phileas Fogg and Jean Passepartout join their destinies without knowing it. At the Reform Club, under lamps and cigar smoke, the talk heats up.
نعم. طيب.
They speak of a bank robbery and a daring article about a journey around the world in 80 days. Confident in his calculations, the gentleman makes his wager, £20,000 on the table, and the promise to go and return at the exact time. That same evening, at 8:45 p.m., the great city fades into the fog. A calm master and a wide-eyed valet leave London behind. The adventure begins. But at Scotland Yard, eyes turn to this strangely punctual traveler. He is suspected of being the Bank of England robber. Inspector Fix is sent to follow him. In Suez, on the sun-baked docks, the policeman meets Passepartout. He smiles, gains his trust and pretends to be a friendly fellow traveler. The steamer Mongolia cuts through the sea toward Bombay. The gentleman stays calm, buried in his timetables, while the world rushes past around them. In Bombay, they arrive 2 days early. On the dock, Fix grows impatient. The arrest
السلام
warrant
عليكم
still has
ورحمة
not
الله
arrived.
وبركاته. أنا ياسين يا مس. 11/28. تمام. ماشي.
A careless step in a sacred temple brings the priest's anger on Passepartout. In Bombay, the poor valet is arrested for profanation. Later, the rushing train stops suddenly. At the end of the track, nothing. The line is unfinished. 50 miles are still missing. Without losing a second, the gentleman buys an elephant, Kiuni, for a fortune. A Parsi guide joins them, and the small party moves into the jungle. Among the dark trees, they meet a solemn procession. A young Indian woman, Auda, is being led to a cruel sacrifice. The calm traveler cannot stay a spectator. He decides to save the condemned woman, and the small group spends a tense night waiting near the temple. At dawn, Passepartout takes the place of the Raja's body on the pyre. At the last second, he springs up with the young woman in his arms. It is a masterstroke. The escape succeeds. Saved from death, Auda joins their small band, and all embark for Calcutta, united by shared danger. But in Calcutta, local justice catches up with them. A complaint from the priests about the temple profanation brings them before a judge. To protect his companions and his schedule, the gentleman opens his wallet. An enormous bail is paid, and the lost time must now be regained. The group boards the Rangoon, heading for Hong Kong. Fix follows them still, more determined than ever to stop his suspect. At sea, a storm shakes the ship and steals 24 precious hours. While the waves batter the hull, the gentleman stays calm, faithful to his wager. In Hong Kong, the policeman plays his card with the valet. He claims that the traveler is a robber, then gets him drunk so he will miss the next departure.
إزازة زيت كريستال تغير شكلها بتفاصيل من الطبيعة، خلت الشكل مش طبيعي.
Je suis Michel Sedboun.
On the dock, the Carnatic leaves without them. The gentleman discovers that Passepartout is gone, and at once charters a small, fast boat to Shanghai. Meanwhile in Shanghai, the exhausted valet barely manages to board a steamer for Yokohama, safe, but separated from his master. Later in Yokohama, the gentleman and Auda search the busy city. In the noise of streets and lanterns, they look for their missing companion. They finally find him under a Japanese circus tent. To survive, the valet has become an acrobat. The reunion is joyful and moving. Reunited, they board the General Grant bound for America. Fix is also on the ship, still hiding in their shadow. The crossing of the Pacific is hard. To keep the pace, the determined traveler forces the captain to drive the ship at full speed. In San Francisco, they finally set foot on land. Almost at once, they are caught in a noisy riot linked to an election. Soon, master and servant board the great transcontinental train. The rails stretch eastward toward New York.